All right, shalom, shalom. First thing first, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, those who rule well and who I learned this truth from. All right, salutation to the brothers stiffly pushing this one truth, and all sincerity and diligence, risking your lives and freedoms to do so. Shalom to the rest of the elect as we all await the second Exodus coming quickly by the hands of the Lord Yahweh Shah. This your brother, Rakakabar, all right, from the GMS Kansas City branch, coming at you again with another lesson. All right, that'll be entitled Faith is the fuel to spiritual powers. All right. It's like it. Faith is the fuel to spiritual powers, man. All right. And this is something me and one of the brothers was speaking on the other night. Okay. How pretty much, when you play these video games, you may have a health bar, but you also got a mana bar or like an energy bar below that. And, the fuller that bar is, the more you're able to spam, your special abilities. Okay, the more you're able to use your superpower, your special abilities. But once that meter is depleted, you got to ultimately wait for it to reload or, charge it up or whatever you got to do before you can start spamming them abilities again, man. And, that's really likened unto to faith. Okay, faith being the fuel to performing our spiritual powers, man, because that's what we're going to have. And that's what the Lord constantly got on the disciples and the believers about was faith and really the lack thereof. Okay, now we understand that there's going to be a designated time wherein the Lord, endows us with that power. Okay, it's going to be a designated time. All right, when he's going to perform those works, but in order to exalt his name. But you have to pray that the Lord increases your faith, man. Okay, because not every brother has the same degree of faith. One brother's faith bar may be fuller, or maybe longer than the next. Okay, but you can pray that the Lord increases it. All right, so that He increases it, man. That way, you believe that the miracles and spiritual powers are going to be able to be performed in these times, man. Because when you truly look around, ain't no other camp really speaking on the spiritual powers, man. Like when you truly look around and you think about it, like, niggas ain't going into that because quite honestly, they don't believe, they don't have the faith in it. They may call I forgot what the group was, but they called the works that Yahweh Shah was performing witchcraft, which makes no sense because here you are, on the left-hand side, you got witches and warlocks that can do particular things. All right, we seen that with Elijah. All right, and the prophets of Baal, they try to do particular things, but the Lord counters it on the right-hand side. The Lord counters it on the right-hand side, man, through His power. Okay, so the Lord ain't just gonna, allow it to where these left-hand people can, magicians and shit can do things. Okay, and we're not gonna be able to. No, man. Even in the time of Moses and Aaron when we were in Egypt. Okay, the Lord had He used Aaron and Moses to confound Pharaoh. Okay, during those times, man. All right, so yeah, we're gonna receive special abilities, man, and you have to believe and have the faith that that's gonna happen. That's when you go in Isaiah 59:19. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Okay. And we can see the flood coming. Trump is deploying National Guard troops to these cities. All right, they don't expect to take them back anytime soon, for the simple fact that they're going to cause all hell to break loose, man. And that way, people ought to be normalized and acclimated to having troops in their cities, man. You see, so with that flood presenting itself, the Lord is going to lift the standard up, and the first sign that shows you believe a standard is going to be lifted is speaking on it, man. Because if you truly believe something, you're going to speak on it. That's why we come out and do the work, because we believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So we pronounce His name, throughout the internet, man. In the eyes of the people. Okay, and that standard goes into Nawas, which means the Lord's going to give us the ability to escape, get out of particular jams. If He needs to teleport you like He did to Habakkuk, when He teleported Habakkuk to Daniel in Babylon, He can do that, teleport you from one city to another. He can allow you to take flight, you know, or cause fire to come down, or, you know, send an angel. You know, whatever is the Lord, you know, sees fit in the moment is going to happen, man. You know, and the point of this lesson is that the fuel to spiritual powers is faith, which is what Hebrews 11:1, man, the substance of things hoped for. All right, the evidence of things not seen, man. Meaning we hope you know, that we're going to be able to do these things because the Lord's promised it to us, man. Okay, he said we will receive power in the book of Acts. All right, to Jerusalem, Judea, and Samaria, in the uttermost parts of the earth. Okay, we're in the uttermost parts, the fourth part. You know, the America wasn't. It wasn't a part of the known world. All right, at that time, man, during the time of the Romans. Okay, this wasn't a part of the known world. So this message has now been preached into Americas, you know, via the internet. It's reached everywhere. So now is a time to wherein the flood is coming once again. Okay, you know, the flood is coming once again. All right, but this time, you know, the Lord is going to lift us up and lift standards up to counteract this devil, man. Because you got to think, this dude got robots, he got technology that really would just put an end to us, man, if the Lord wasn't with us. So we have to adapt with the times. You know, back then wasn't the time for us to fight. You know, but this time, all right, the Lord, all right, is going to raise us up. Okay, so that way his name can be magnified in the earth. All right, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah is going to be magnified in the earth when this enemy comes in like a flood, man. Okay, matter of fact, let's grab that. You know, I'm doing you know, I'm in transit right now. That's, you know, I didn't want to make sure I can pay attention. But let's grab that, and then, you know, that'll pretty much be the point, man. Okay, and if need be, you know, pray that the Lord increases your faith. All right, and, you know, it says, Isaiah 59:19, so shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, which this is the west, Americas, man, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, shall lift up a standard against him, man. You see that? So it's all by design, man. The Lord is allowing Esau to put moves in place. That way we can checkmate his ass and show, and we can showcase through Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, what true power is, man. What real power really looks like. And we're only going to be limited to our imaginations, man. Okay, especially in the kingdom. But even on this side, I mean, like I said, the Lord can allow us to do whatever is fit to get out of that jam, man. Okay, you know, in a video game, it's like when you reach a certain point, you know, and it may not last super long. It may last for like 10 seconds or 5-10 seconds, but you know, your mana bar or your energy bar will just start flashing. You know, it'll just flash, and you can just spam your abilities however long you want to. You know, that's how it's gonna be in the kingdom, man. We ain't gonna have no limits on us. Okay, but even on this side, the Lord is going to have to lift us up. Okay, there's another precept that's coming to mind. Let me see if I can find this, and I'm going to close on out. Let's fucking find this. I believe it's in Micah. I want to say Micah. God. Micah 5:7, it says, and the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people, as a dew from Yahweh, as the showers upon the grass, that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of men. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest. Who's the king of the jungle, man? Is the lion, right? It says, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through, both tread it down and tear it in pieces, and none can deliver. See, the Lord's going to raise us up to fuck these people up, man. Hey, he tells you in Isaiah 19, the land of Judah is going to be a terror unto Egypt. So even these YNs, all right, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to just lift his people up, man. 2/3 and the elect. But when the elect get lifted up, it's going to be a difference, man. We ain't going to be using Glocks and, you know, shit like that, man. The Lord's going to give us real power, man. All right, that way you know it's a difference. All right, but it says, who if he go through, both tread it down and tear it in pieces, and none can deliver. Thine hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, and all thine enemies shall be cut off, man. Yeah, man. So keep that faith, man. Believe in it. All right. It's the reason why, like I said, man, you know, not many guys, many of these other camps speak on it, because truly they don't believe. So, you know, your meter, your spiritual powers, you know, is only as good as the faith that you have, man. All right, I'm just put it like that. But I'm in it there. I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Bashmiel, Shabbat Shalom Kakadash, DTA Baba Ball, Shalom.